The great thing about youth sports, they give young people an opportunity to participate in something that is going to broaden them as people.
I think it's very amazing that Garza Law Firm has made a commitment to help the youth kids with playing different sports.
Guys like Marcos Garza that put their time into being able to help these kids live out a dream, it's made me who I am today.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Atlanta Motor Speedway, located about 20 miles south of downtown Atlanta in Hampton, Georgia, has come a very long way from the first race held in 1960 and won by NASCAR legend Fireball Roberts, who also took the pole at 133 miles per hour. Spectators from that day who watched from one small grandstand or on blankets spread out on the adjacent dirt bank wouldn't begin to recognize the facility today. Even down to the name, dubbed Atlanta International Raceway when it opened, the track struggled financially through the 60s and 70s before finding a degree of stability in the 1980s. Future Georgia Governor and U.S. President Jimmy Carter briefly worked as a ticket seller on race weekends in the 60s. Real change came following Bruton Smith's purchase of the facility in 1990, with the culmination of the transformation of Atlanta International Speedway occurring in 1997, with extensive reconfiguration that switched front and back straightaways and added a double dogleg in the new front straightaway. In the 7 intervening years, new grandstands sprouted almost every year, and a 9-story tower, Terra Place, that houses the track offices and a number of luxury condominiums. Atlanta Motor Speedway has been a staple on the NASCAR calendar for decades, and tonight it's the Superior Class Auto Racing Premier Series regular season finale coming up next on HBR TV. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Steve Singer with HBR TV, joined in the booth none other than Eric Dotson. How are you, Eric?
Doing good. How about you?
Doing well. Excited for this one. Some guys are, well, the polar opposite of excitement for this one here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Kind of Atlanta Super Speedway, as they're starting to call it, as it kind of does race like a super speedway like Daytona or Talladega. It's the Atlanta Altercation 125, presented by Track Bar Media. 83 laps. We get a stage break at lap 60. There is one fast repair. Race admins, again, treating this facility as a super speedway. So just like Daytona, Talladega, they do get at least one fast repair to work with. And I do believe 2 sets of tires over the wall. As far as race penalties are concerned, again, this is the final regular season race of the season. We're going to decide a regular season champion here tonight. It's either going to be Brian Rose or Neil Quick. As far as the penalties go, Neil Quick is one of them, Zach Millett another. Millett not here, unfortunately getting caught out with work. Neil's going to receive an EOL before the start of the race and at the stage break, though he can qualify. The 83 of Brandon Mefford also receiving an EOL before the start of the race, but cannot qualify. Speaking of qualifying, practice is over. We're going to jump right into it right away. Let's see who takes to the track first. It looks like Rob Hattenback is the first one to roll out. So, Eric, I know it's you got 5 minutes for this session, 2 laps to get it done. You got a pick so far?
I'm going to have to wait and see some qualifying. I didn't get in time, didn't get in the session in time to see any practice. But from everything I hear, this is going to kind of be like a Talladega, Daytona type race.
Definitely going to be a crapshoot. I mean, there is some skill involved in it. It's not quite your Daytona Talladega, though everyone's going to be packed up. But getting through that dog leg, especially on older tires, you're not going to be wide open through this place. It's going to be tricky, especially in the flatter, quote-unquote, double dog leg, front straightaway, however you want to classify it. It's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, I know that I seen in the pre-race announcement that these guys are going to get one fast repair tonight, so that may have some guys be a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah, one fast repair. Again, the admins, treating Atlanta Super Speedway as just that, a super speedway. If you run a super speedway in the Premier Series, they do offer at least one fast repairs. Hattenback finishes lap 1, a 32.486. You did see Hattenback drop below the red line in qualifying. Perfectly normal, perfectly fine to do as Thomas McMullen goes top of the board with a 32.45. But during the race, much like the yellow line at Daytona and Talladega, it's a no-no. Do not advance your position by going below the yellow line. That's number 1. Number 2, do not force anyone below the red line. That's number 2. Number 3, if you are forced below the red line, you still need to tuck back in behind the guy that did it to you. There will be penalties if you violate any of those rules. We'll have to see how it pans out here tonight, but it is all in the interest of safety as far as putting on a good show here at Atlanta. McMullen finishes lap 2, 32.36, picks up about a tenth of a second on his second lap around. Vincent Short, third fast, usually runs pretty well in the super speedway type tracks. Qualifying P3, a 32.38 thus far. Brian Rose, championship contender for the regular season, crosses the line for his second time around. A 32.35 puts it P1 so far. Didn't take long, though. Cody Harger goes top of the board on his second lap, a 32.32, just 2/100ths of a second quicker than the Track Bar Media number 89 of Brian Rose. David Bradford here, not a full-time competitor, but certainly a SCAR veteran. He's jumping into this one here tonight to see what he can do. He's currently listed 4th fast. Neil Quick jumps up ahead. He is 3rd quick on his second lap, 32.351. Also, that really is going to come down to it. Whoever finishes ahead of the other, whether it's Neil Quick or Brian Rose, I believe mathematically locks up the championship, at least their regular season championship. Speaking of that, let's take a look at the points picture as we come into this race. This is all after Martinsville. Zach Millett, Neil Quick, Brian Rose, Drew Blaze, then a top 5 tie with Cody Harger, Keaton Burnett, and so on. All the drivers in green locked into the playoffs for certain. You see the playoff points available to the right-hand side. Then the yellow drivers kind of on the bubble. Cook Quick, Mike Fahey, Will George. They are above that cut line. Below it, Carson Conway, Jesse Bobo, Eddie Rose, Alan DeFries, Thomas Ridgway, and Will Hewitt. In it for tonight. They all have an opportunity. If they get a win here, they can advance on into the playoff rounds. Cook Quick on the speedway here. Mark Truxell as well. Cook just about to wrap up his first timed lap. See him also drop to the bottom.
You know, the biggest surprise for me here is Vince. Vince is normally a really good qualifier at the super speedways. I was honestly expecting him to get the pole here.
Well, it's still a top 10 position for Vincent Short. Again, we kind of said the same thing. He does run very well at the super speedways for sure.
But I mean, all the way to 11th is less than a second, or a tenth of a second. I'm sorry.
Doesn't take much, even just a small gust of wind, miss your corner by a little bit, slide the front tires ever so slightly, scrub the speed. That's some tight times across the top of the board there from first back to even 10th, 11th, 12th. They're not a big difference really there. Qualifying officially at the 5-minute mark. So you know what that means. It's time to look at our starting grid for the Atlanta Altercation presented by Track Bar Media. On the pole position, it is the 66 of Cody Harger, flanked by the 89 of Brian Rose. Just about, well, almost 300ths of a second off pole position. Brian Rose missed it by that much. Second row, Neil Quick. Again, he could qualify, but he does go to the rear. starting fourth. We'll move up to third. David Bradford in the 46, first race back in quite some time. Thomas McMullen starts in the 5th position. 6th goes to, again, another SCAR veteran, the 33 of Will Hewitt. Vincent Short starting in the 7th position. LSR's Mike Fahey starts 8th. Rob Hattenbach starts from the 9th spot. Tim Culp will roll off from the 10th position. 11th, Tom Ridgway in the familiar-looking number 3. 12th position, the 72 of Carson Conway, the HBR entry. Cook Quick rolls off 13th. Austin Purnell, the 32, will be 14th starter. Mark Truxell in the 5. Little Tate's Cupcakes machine, he starts 15th. Brandon Mefford with Falcon Motorsports, the 16th starter. Keaton Burnett, another LSR entry, 17th. Chris Goins, another teammate for Keaton. He's Chris Goins in the 6th. He'll start 18th. Drew Blaze, LSR as well, 19th. Eddie Rose and Bill Petroff will round out the field. 21 truck field here tonight at Atlanta Motor Speedway, but that's how they will line up at the Speedway. We're going to get one lap before we go to green here. One formation, one pace lap. However you want to categorize it, field getting ready to roll out to do just that in a moment or two. Today's drone photography brought to you by Whiplash Media.
So, Steve, I'm going to let you pick first. Who you going to take?
I'm going to go with Neil Quick.
Neil Quick.
Neil Quick absolutely hates this place. Not looking forward to it. He's got to go to the rear at the start. He's got to go to the rear at the start of the second stage. He's got the longest odds. I'm going to go for the big money and pick the 2.
I'm going to take the 46 of David Bradford.
Ooh.
I feel like if he's going to race a half schedule or pick his races, he's going to go somewhere where he's good. So I'm going to take him.
It's hard to say he's really good here. I mean, it's a relatively new scan. It's a recent release from iRacing. We know David's good just about everywhere he goes, and in fact, he said so himself. Quote, doesn't take any talent to get around this place, but that can be debated. We'll talk about that, I'm sure. But we'll see. I mean, David's not been out of the game completely. He's been doing some racing behind the scenes, so he's not coming in here completely cold. Certainly going to be a contender here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, and he's got 10 years plus in the sim, so I like him for tonight.
Can't say I blame you. It's not a bad pick no matter where you go. Real quick, stream chatters, appreciate you jumping in. Please continue to do so. We got Mike Fahey, Big Blue, Kevin Blue, Judy Tate. So far, that's it, but looking forward to more if we can get it. Let's get it. Again, 83 laps, stage break at lap 60 at the completion of lap 60. Got a ways to go before we got to worry about that. Pace car peels off the racetrack. We're going to go green as soon as the starter decides he wants to wave it. Barney's waving it already. We're good to go. Everybody's in the throttle. We're just about, well, not quite full song, but we're going to be there by the time we get to the end of the back straightaway. Into turn number 1, Brian Rose going to lead Cody Harger just a touch, but not for long. Harger takes the advantage down low.
Brian's got his teammate David right there behind him, so I think David's going to work with Brian and push him out into the lead going down this back stretch.
And Cody Harger's got another HBR teammate to his tailgate right now as well as they work into turn number 3. And again, Vincent Short behind Thomas McMullen. A lot of HBR company at the front of the field so far, but the one on point, it's not HBR. It's Charger Racing's Cody Harger at the front of the field. He leads lap 1.
And I know Brian's going for this regular season championship. I know he's going to do everything he can to lead a lap. I think he's 4 points on Neil Quick right now, so that extra bonus point will be big for him as he tries to win this regular season championship.
Big picture for Brian Rose. I think he just has to finish in front of Neil or at least stay within a spot or 2 of Neil. He doesn't have to win this race. I know Brian's a racer. He's going to want to do just that. But I think he may have been credited with the lead as they crossed the stripe there. Not 100% sure. It was close.
Yeah, I think he got that one. Some good side-by-side racing here at Atlanta.
expected that here again. It's Atlanta Super Speedway these days. Front of the field, Cody Harger still with a nose out in front. Bottom lane seems to be preferred for now, but it also is the most organized. See Brian Rose and David Bradford topside. Will Hewitt coming into the picture as well, but about a half truck off the back bumper of the 46. Mike Fahey in the picture as well. So is the 8 machine of Tim Culp. Down in the bottom, Vincent Short. He is there just ahead of the 99 at Hattenback, and he's got Harger and McMullen out in front of the 15.
So how's the tire wear here? Is it going to play a factor, Steve?
You know, I didn't get any laps in it myself, but Brian did mention that the tires get hot, they get greasy, they get real slick. The biggest issue really is getting through the dog leg. Almost no banking through there. Trucks are packed up. The aero push, the aero loose makes a big difference as well. Tires are going to matter here tonight. Not what they used to on the old Atlanta Motor Speedway, but they're still going to come into play.
Looks like the high side may be getting up together. As soon as I say that, Cody takes the lead on the bottom.
Brian Rose leads the lap, so there's credit. There's some points for the 89. Thomas McMullen down to the bottom, gets the left sides on the flat, gathers it back up. That is a dangerous thing to have happen. We saw it in practice. I think it was actually Carson Conway in the 72 who got the left sides below the red line in the corner, and around she went.
I thought Brown was going to go low, and he acted like it, and then he went back high, and Cody got a heck of a run.
Well, he does know that though they're friendly with David Bradford, Bradford's here hunting a trophy. He doesn't care about a championship. He doesn't necessarily want to open that door, get some clean air on the nose of that blue line Toyota Tundra. David may make the same move that Brian is. He's certainly smart enough and experienced enough to do just that. He stays out in front, a lot harder to pass.
I wonder how these guys are going to be once they get a little bit of wear on their tires and side by side like this.
You know, watching practice early on, I was really thinking, man, this place is really going to be fun to watch as the surface starts to wear out. I know so many drivers in the real world was really kind of disappointed, not just with the repaving of the racetrack, but more so with the reconfiguration, the banking, the narrowing, all that. But again, I think a lot of that's going to change over the years, as all these racetracks do as they get older. Sit in that Georgia heat all day long, they bake, temperature changes, they cool off at night in the wintertime. It's certainly not what it is up in the Northeast, but this track will eventually break down and produce completely different racing over time. But tonight, it's Atlanta Super Speedway. That's what we got going on right now. Everybody nice and tightly packed together across the stripe in turn number 1. 11 laps go on the board. Brian Rose, Cody Harger kind of going back and forth here. Nose out in front at the line. Rose can get the run off the corner down the straightaway, but not a full truck length. Is he dropping down? Maybe, maybe not. He's got a little room if he wants. Nope, thinks better of it.
He's had many opportunities, and he's sticking on the high side with David. Or maybe he just prefers that high side better.
Very well could be the case. It's not as loose up top. I did notice that a lot of guys that were on the bottom with the truck to the outside has had a tendency to give you a lot of oversteer off the corner with the truck to your right side if you were on the bottom. More so, obviously that gets amplified or magnified as the tires wear. Brian way up the racetrack there, a little loose off the 46. Some of David tucked into the tailgate there to try and loosen up Brian Rose.
That high side does a really good job of getting the runs down the straightaway.
Saw Cody chase it up the track just a little bit, get side by side with David Bradford, but it looks like Brian Rose is going to jump out front and clear the 66. Does he drop and change lanes? No, he stays up top. Man, you're right, Eric. He's had a lot of opportunities. That was a big one. You saw Cody was side by side with the 46 of Bradford for a moment. Brian had plenty of opportunity to drop down in front, opted not to.
Yeah, I don't know if he likes that lane or if he just likes having David behind him, you know, because if he drops down to that bottom, that's going to open the door for David Bradford to be challenging him for the lead. You know, we may see some more, some of these guys that's already locked in be a little bit more aggressive tonight. As, you know, Zach Miller, Neil Wick have double-digit bonus points, playoff points, excuse me, going into the playoffs. So, you know, these guys are looking to get every bit of points they can going into the playoffs.
Yeah, without a doubt. They're trying to get up there, get those bonus points. It's going to make a big difference into that playoff run. Millett, again, unfortunately not able to make it here due to work scheduling. But he's still going to be a factor. Definitely going to be a tough one to beat going into the playoffs.
Looks like Brian and David may clear Cody here. We'll see if they pull down or they stay on the high side. Or maybe one of them goes to the low side.
The fact that they don't just yet makes me wonder if they're in communication with each other. No, stay up high. Let's run this out to the stage. Oh, Cody Harger loose in the corner. He saves it on the flat. Hattenback gets into the back of Vincent Short. We stay under the green flag. A near disaster for the 66 of Cody Harger. As it is, he's going to drop back to the 12th spot at least. A little bit of rear end damage, definitely front end damage to Rob Hattenback on the 99. In fact, Cody looks pretty clean, actually. Might have got away scot-free on that, but not so much of the 99 of Hattenback.
Yeah, you can see the 99's got visible damage, which is going to absolutely kill him here. That was a great job of Cody with that save and everybody behind him for not piling these trucks up.
You know, Hattenback did get in there a little hot, made some contact with the 66.
Looked like somebody got in the back of Vincent Short. As I seen earlier, his back end had a little bit of damage, a little V shape.
Again, these drivers do have one fast repair at this particular race. They do run one only on the super speedways in case something crazy happens. It takes out 3/4 of the field early on. Oh, maybe some contact there with Tim Culp. But the question I'm going to have really is how many of these guys remember, A, that they have a fast repair, how many of them, B, unchecked it at the start, and how many of them, C, remember to recheck them or uncheck them, whether they want to use them or not, on the pit stop that they're going to have to make at some point. You know, right now, Vincent Short, I wouldn't say, hey, I'd want to use the fast repair on that damage he has. Hattenback, maybe. He might consider it, considering that it's on the front end of his machine. But if these guys forget that it's checked and they don't really need it, well, sorry, it's gone. Or if you forget to check it because you need it, well, sorry, you got to wait till the next opportunity. We've seen that happen in many cases in series that run fast repairs on the regular. Again, mixing them in here with only a couple of races every season. Some guys are not familiar with it, and they may not have a strategy mapped out. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I mean, I think Hattenback will have to when we get a caution. I'm looking at the timing now, and he's almost 2 seconds off pace right now.
Meanwhile, David Bradford has taken over the top spot. Brian Rose in the high side tucks in behind that blue line Toyota Tundra. The 46, the leader at the stripe. Mike Fahey officially second. Rose third. Vincent Short still fourth. Will Hewitt up to fifth.
Brian is tucked all over the 46, and that could have just been, you know, maybe David was getting hot, his engine was getting hot, and they switched positions.
Very well could be the case. Again, David Bradford, we talked about it in the intro, plenty of time here experience-wise on the sim, 10 years plus. Was a full-fledged member of Holler Boys Racing the previous season, and it really benefited the team across the board. And I always say that with HBR, it benefited them because he was directly available to teach the guys, here, do this in this situation. Why don't you just follow me for a little while? Let's do that. You know, watching the in-car cameras in practice, kind of saying, no, you're getting in the too deep here, you're on the throttle too early here, and so on and so forth. A very, very big help, and not just to the HBR team. David is willing to go out there 99% of the time and help whoever is willing to listen. Just makes the league in general better, and it's certainly showing it here. He's got the talent. He's out in front here. But Mike Fahey is dropping to the bottom with some help from Vincent Short. A bit of a push for the 19, but Fahey might have gotten shuffled there to the middle. Vincent Short drops to the bottom in the middle of turns 3 and 4. Fahey slides up the track, almost contact with Brian Rose. Rose way up the track, 3 wide off turn number 4. Bradford's looking in his mirror just laughing like, you idiots, you're going to wreck everybody. Oh my Lord, 25 laps in, we don't need that.
Yeah, I think Brian is being aware of his surroundings, because when Fahey came up, Brian kind of moved up too. I think if that wasn't the case, we may have had a wreck right there.
Again, it shows you the caliber of driver here in the Superior Class Auto Racing Premier Series. Vincent Short again catches the bottom. We've seen it a couple of times from other drivers. Slides up the track, avoids contact. You can tell 25 laps in, tires starting to go away. Here's the answer to your question, Eric. Things are getting a little hairy out front.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I mean, these guys are starting to slide around, and we know what it's going to do now. And the longer they run, the worse it's going to get for them.
Eddie Rose, slow truck down low, yields to the field, does not want to get into this mix and cause an issue. Well played, Eddie Rose. Meanwhile, out front, Mike Fahey noses out in front over David Bradford, but again, that high side, it's tough, man. This is going to come down to a last lap pass. This is going to be Earnhardt and Gordon, or Harvick and Labonte, or maybe I got it mixed up, but you get the idea. You remember those finishes going back now almost 20 years. But side-by-side photo finishes, that's what this place has produced now that it's become a super speedway. You've seen it for the last 20-some-odd laps. Side-by-side racing from really the top 2 all the way back to the top 10 at least.
Harvick's first win, 3rd race.
Yeah, right after Park got his win at Rockingham the week before. Tom Ridgway in pit lane.
Vincent Short making a move 3 wide.
You've seen him try it again here. Almost contact with the 19 of Fahey. Fahey's loose in a corner. Crosses across the nose of Brian Rose, and Rose is in the wall and upside down. Caution comes out on the speedway. Gets to the roof in front of Will Hewitt. A brazen move by Vincent Short. Ends up clipping Mike Fahey. Fahey, I believe, gets into Will Hewitt and Brian Rose. Very aggressive move very early on.
I feel like whoever's been in that second position on the low side has got just a great run off the turns, and I think Vince may have got that run and just decided to go for it.
Well, let's take a look at it. We'll keep an eye on the 89 truck here from our drone shot. See, Vince already slides up the track, contact with Fahey, and it causes the 89 to slide up in front of Will Hewitt. Big hit for Brian Rose. Luckily, a faster pair. As you see, Neil Quick goes to the bottom. He takes the spot away. Get one more look at it from the tower. See, Vince has already gone to the bottom. He slides up the track. In fact, I'm going to rewind this a little further and get a better look at it from Vince and Mike Fahey's perspective. This is riding on board the 19 of Fahey. Down the backstretch again, this incident occurs in the middle of 3 and 4, I believe. See, Fahey's truck's already wiggling in the corner because he maybe did not know that Vince was right there. Vince had the left sides right on that red line. Now you see we're 3 wide. Vince slides up a little bit, don't know if there was contact or not, but again, Fahey trying everything he had to not make contact with the 46, but lifting out of the throttle, a little bit of aerodynamic issue, crosses the truck up, tank slap a little bit mid-corner.
I don't think they were contact. I think maybe it just took the air off of him.
See what it looks like from the blimp. We'll get one more look at it. Go back a little bit further here. Does Fahey try to throw a block and he's just too late? So the 15 of Vincent Short, the red and blue machine. Fahey slides up a little bit, opens the door for Short off turn 2. Vince has a good run. Left side's on the red line. I don't think he goes below. I don't know if it's 4 tires or 2, but nonetheless, doesn't look like either made it across the line. So Fahey, a little wiggle. Tell you, that's the razor's edge. I don't know if the admins are going to want to look at it later or not, or how that's really going to work, but they did talk about it. You cannot go below the yellow line to advance your position. From my perspective, I don't think he did, but certainly reviewable.
Yeah, I think we'd have been all right if Will Hewitt wouldn't have been there.
Yeah, and again, it's no fault of Will's whatsoever. He's just there running his line, and I think he'd have made it through it too if he was about 5 car lengths back. No big deal. I think Brian had to move up because if he checked up or got on the binders, he had the 0-2 of McMullen right to his tailgate. He would have run him over too. So it was just nowhere to go really for Brian Rose. So through that, we're getting ready to go back to the green flag. We spent that entire caution looking at replays. Pit stops were made, all except for Vincent Short. Short stays on the racetrack. Looks like he opted for the outside lane. Getting ready to go back to the green flag. Green flag waves. We're underway from Atlanta.
Ooh, David, right there's where that experience comes in. I mean, David timed the start and got right off of Vince. That's one thing you can't teach is experience.
David Bradford takes the top spot away, and Vincent Short with minimal help or no help. He drops back all the way to the 6th position at the end of that lap. David Bradford, Mike Fahey, Will Hewitt, Brandon Mefford, Tim Culp. That's your top 5.
Yeah, Vince has dropped back quick, and I'm just wondering about fuel situation with him making it to the stage where he didn't pit.
Well, with the caution, I know the stage was, I think it was going to be relatively close. With the caution, maybe it makes it a little bit better. It's hard to say. You got the 83 of Brandon Mefford there to the outside. Changed the colors on that truck, trying to make my life a little bit simpler.
Brandon and his brother Chris has absolutely been wearing it out the past couple weeks.
Speaking of Chris, he is on pit lane here. I don't know if this is a scheduled stop or what, but he is coming to a very slow stop into his box. Right side tires going on the 84. Crew around to the left. Or maybe not. Right side tires only, maybe some fuel as well. Mefford there for quite a while. Don't know.
It's like Vincent Short on pit road.
Right side tires. See, this is right after the caution. I don't know why he would have not taken the opportunity to pit under yellow. He's certainly going to go down a lap. 4 tires. No, right side tires only for Vincent Short. Would have only been about 2 or 3 more seconds to change the left sides, but either way, down and away, does not use the faster pair. Trying to play the long game here.
Yeah, and I mean, now he's not even the first car a lap down, or the first truck Ridgeway is.
He's about 10 seconds behind the 3 of Ridgeway with no drafting help right now. Interestingly enough, no Neil Quick up into the 7th position, kind of back and forth for 6th with Thomas McMullen, but definitely well out in front of Brian Rose. If the race were to end now, Neil Quick would be your regular season champion. But again, plenty of racing to go. Closing in on lap 60, which is the end of our stage. Still some time to go, about 24 laps.
I don't think we'll see Brian Rose back up at the front until later on. He's going to be very conservative now, I believe.
Especially with no fast repair remaining at this point, definitely had to have used it.
Yeah, he'll ride towards the back till maybe the start of the last stage or 10 laps to go or something. He'll keep himself out of trouble.
Clean truck, definitely fast repair has been burned for the 89 of Brian Rose. I think you're absolutely right, Eric. Gonna hang back and be careful. Caution on the speedway, and Carson Conway gets into his teammate.
Status under car there.
Ooh, I would hate to be in that HBR chat.
2 cautions related to HBR drivers have negatively affected a championship contender tonight. Brian Rose comes into tonight with a 4-point lead over Neil Quick. Just needed to finish within a couple of positions ahead of Quick to lock that regular season championship up. Vincent Short, part of that initial caution. Now a different caution coming out, but teammate Carson Conway slamming into the back of the F-150 of Brian Rose. I don't know if this was Rob Hattenbach or not. We're going to guess, just based on what we're seeing here. He is on pit lane early. Possibly Hattenbach by himself. No, that's going by the
There's
pace
the
car.
pace car. I think it may have been something in front of Brian, and maybe Brian checked up and Carson just decided to run over him.
Certainly wasn't Thomas Ridgeway. Totally different crash. I think I might have found it. Maybe not. Oh, it was Rob Hattenbach. There it is. Tank slap gets in Austin Purnell. Big hit for Hattenbach. Cody Harger gets a piece of it as well. Man, why did that take so long to track down?
Yeah, it looks like Brian just led up and
That's why Brian was checking up so hard. He saw it happening right out in front of him.
yeah, and I mean, if you're Carson Conway in that situation, you got your teammate trying to win the regular season championship. I mean, he's just riding. Brian's just riding, so you don't put yourself in that situation.
Let's look at it again from the onboard of Brian Rose. He sees it developing. Oh my goodness. Well, a near miss. If he had nailed the 99 the way he could have, it would have been race over for Brian Rose. So I think he'll take that rear damage from Carson Conway at this point.
Yeah, most of the time with that rear damage, you're not as fast, but you're fast enough to stay in the draft and make moves.
Yeah, and he'll get an opportunity to do some repairs on that machine here at lap 60, conclusion of lap 60. That'll end our stage. Again, tonight's race brought to you by Track Bar Media. It's a company owned by, Brian Rose.
I'm sure he would love to win a race that is brought to you by Track Bar Media.
Well, whether he wins the race or if he can lock up the regular season championship nonetheless. Pace car is down. We're going to go back to green. Field in the Geico restart zone. Green flag waves. David Bradford in the throttle. Tim Culp to the outside. A terrible restart. 83 of Brandon Mefford. He's right to the tailgate of the 46. Neil Quick up to P3. Culp still dropping back. We are past the official halfway point.
It didn't take long for a Medford to get up front.
Nope, not surprising. Certainly not the type of track we'd expect them to be the best at, but it seems to be those guys are quick everywhere we go.
Ooh, 23 in the wall.
Caution somewhere, caution.
Big trouble here at the start-finish line, the double dog leg. Carson Conway, Mark Truxell, Cook Quick, Chris Gones. Multiple drivers, maybe Vincent Short squeaking his way through. Not sure if he got a piece of that or not.
He looks clean except for that back end damage that he's had.
Going slowly pulling away from the scene. Let's take a look at it. Seems like, yeah, it started to happen up ahead. Gones checked up.
It started with the 23. I think it's Cook.
Let's see if we can find Cook quick. Just going to back this up here again from the blimp. Cook Quick, the gray and blue down low. Tim Culp off the corner. He's going to get to the right rear of Cook. Just drives into him. I think he may have expected the 23 to go further down the racetrack. Man, glad this is a simulation because that would have been a nasty hit in real life. Cook goes across the track, cuts in front of the nose of Mike Fahey. Fahey just goes straight through him. Carson gets a piece of him. Another hard hit for him as well. Mark Truxell going to get into the back of Conway. See the Track Bar Media F-150. He gets his way through. Austin Purnell, Keaton Burnett, Chris Mefford. Pace car almost gets a piece of it. Didn't waste any time getting out on the track.
Here comes Vince and Eddie Rose creeping through.
So caution on the speedway once again, lap 45. We're going to step away for a short break. We'll be back after this.
The great thing about youth sports, they give young people an opportunity to participate in something that is going to broaden them as people.
I think it's very amazing that Garza Law Firm has made a commitment to help the youth kids with playing different sports.
Guys like Marcos Garza that put their time into being able to help these kids live out a dream. It's made me who I am today.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Atlanta Super Speedway. Certainly seems that way. Close quarters battle here at the Speedway. David Bradford out in front, the 83 of Brandon Mefford, and Neil Quick up into P3. Thomas McMullen, Will Hewitt, the balance of your top 5. Brian Rose up to P7 through that last caution. Other drivers being taken out in that incident, Chris Goins being one of them. Mark Truxell, Carson Conway also involved. Cook Quick, and I think Tim Culp was the other machine, the number 8.
Yeah, I think
Green
so.
flag.
Pace cars down, green flag waves. Lap 47 goes up on the board. A good jump again by the 46 of Bradford. Neil Quick, a good restart as well. He may follow the 46 to the bottom here to try and take that second spot away from Mefford.
I think Neil may try a shotgun move here if he can get clear of the 83. No, they're going to get that run on the high side.
Bottom side looks a little more organized, but the momentum is up top. Of course, George Wall in the stream chat earlier cheering on David Bradford. Good to see you, George. It's been a while. Patrick Davis cheering on Vincent Short. Still not out of it. Last truck on the lead lap. He was for a moment. Mike Fahey blinked out for a minute. He's back there in the 5th spot. So new leader, it is the 83 of Brandon Mefford. David Bradford now second. Neil Quick up to position number 3 with Thomas McMullen knocking on the back door. The battle for the 5th position between Thomas McMullen and Will Hewitt.
I think Neil Quick is just biding his time, and he's going to make a charge here to try to win this stage.
Neil Quick, a very patient race driver. That's why he excels so well on the tire type tracks. We're talking about very abrasive, very rough, tire eating type surfaces. He's very good at being patient, saving the truck, saving the tires for late in the run, and putting the power down at just the right time. That's how he's gotten a lot of his wins this year. This place, not so much a tire eater anymore, but nevertheless, still a patient driver, knows when to go. And you see him here up in the top 3 here, lap 50 of 83 at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Right now, though, Brian Rose in the 8th position. He's 5 spots back from Neil Quick. Don't think that's quite close enough to still seal the deal for the regular season title tonight. He's going to need to make his way forward here. Laps winding down here. Again, less than 10 to go to finish out the stage.
It looks like everybody's kind of content in the top 3 to just ride right now. They're not in no big hurry, and I think it's making that high side lose a little bit of momentum, not having anybody up there close to the lead.
Right on board with Thomas McMullen as we look to the right side of his truck. He's got Mike Fahey just outside the number 19, almost contact made. Behind him, he's got the 33 of Will Hewitt. Again, to outside of Hewitt, it is the 32 of Austin Purnell. Big run coming on the outside from Mike Fahey as they work down the backstretch into turn number 3. Fahey up top again. Eric, I think you're absolutely right. Not a lot of momentum to be had up in that top side. Very disorganized, at least a truck length, maybe 2 between Mike Fahey and Purnell. Not willing to get right to the tailgate of the 19. They can't really progress their way forward, and that's certainly costing that outside line.
Yeah, I think if they get lined up and start to come towards the front, you may see David Bradford or Neil Quick jump up high and try to get pushed into the lead.
Chris Mefford running in the 21st position, the number 84 truck, that red and white machine there. Certainly a quick truck. Not on the lead lap. He's still a threat, though. He's going to try and work his way up to the 6 of Chris Goins, but he's got about 6 trucks in between himself and Goins if he's going to put himself in that lucky dog position. Big push out of the 46 into turn number 3. Mefford drives it deep into the corner. Bradford slides up just a bit, keeps some distance between himself and the 2 of Quick. Outside is still Mike Fahey. putting up a good battle on the outside with minimal help.
They get the run going, and then they it looks like they just kind of split apart from each other and don't push as hard once they get moving.
Right on board with David Bradford, the number 46 Blue Line machine, off turn number 4. Going to close the ground a little bit, checks up a little as to not make contact with Mefford through that double dog leg. And Bradford, we talked about the experience he has in the sim. He's been with SCAR for quite a while. He's the first SCAR champion, the SCAR Cup Series wins leader, and here we are in the Premier Series running the truck as he runs in the second spot. I believe his first, maybe second race of the season, if it was even two. In a position here to take a stage win, possibly if he can get by the 83 of Mefford, or maybe even just kind of hang out there behind him and try to get a race win, just to notch another one on his belt.
Yeah, and I know, Brian Rose is probably rooting hard for these two guys to stay up front because neither one of them are in the regular season points. And, Neil is wanting to get by them and get the 5 points, which would actually, I think, make him and Brian tied going into the last stage.
I believe it was a 4-point differential coming into tonight between Quick and Rose. Quick runs third, Rose runs ninth. Rose does have a lap lead, Quick does not. So you might be right on the money there. 5 or 6 points might be the differential, at least presently, with Brian kind of tiptoeing between 8th and 9th. It's tough to say. 26 laps to go. We're at lap 58 in just a moment. Very close to the end of our stage as they cross the stripe. Lap 58 goes on the board. Mark Truxell way wide in corner entry. 3 wide for a moment. Brian Rose thinking about going to the middle. Thinks better of it, but Quick, he doesn't care. He's going to the bottom. We're 3 wide off turn 2 down the back straightaway. Mark Truxell a little slow to the outside. They're going to go to 3, and Brian Rose gets into the wall. Hard contact for Brian Rose. He is massively into the wall, upside down and backwards, probably on fire, and he is going to be out of this one. 25 to go. Caution on the Speedway. That was a tough one to see. Mark Truxell, Quick, Brian Rose, pretty much all involved in this. I think Quick gets away scot-free, but he was the one forcing the issue, it appeared, at least as we watched it live.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised by that move out of the 89.
Let's go back and take a look at it. Again, off turn number 2. Quick slides up the track a little. Bit of an overcorrection. Nothing crazy. Didn't cause an issue there. Plenty of space between the 3 trucks, but going into 3... Oh, Truxell looks like he was going to go to the bottom.
It looked like Brian may have moved up to maybe try to swing the turn.
Let's look at it again here. Slow it down a bit. This is off 2. Now, I will tell you, this will be our stage break. Caution comes out before we get to lap 60, but nonetheless. Drew Prohl in the stream chat. Undertaker to the track, please. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So again, the trouble...
Right here,
Go ahead,
it looks
Eric.
like Brian may start to drift up right here to maybe swing. Truxell's definitely coming down.
It's a combination of both, it looks like. Let's back it up. Let's watch from Truxell's onboard. Yeah, it's a racing deal. They weren't clear. Truxell was turning into the corner. Brian was trying to arc it a little more than he had room to do it. Tough break for Brian Rose and Mark Truxell too. And I think it looks like Vince Short got a piece of that one as well at the end.
Yeah, he was right behind Brian when that happened.
But look at this. Will Hewitt, your new leader here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Will has become a part-time driver here in the SCAR Premier Series. Again, a SCAR veteran, though, nonetheless. fuel only or maybe just 2 tires. A 10.5 second stop for the 33 of Will Hewitt with 23 laps to go. Pace car lights are off. We're going to take a quick side-by-side. We'll be back after this.
The great thing about youth sports, they give young people an opportunity to participate in something that is going to broaden them as people.
I think it's very amazing that Garza Law Firm has made a commitment to help the youth kids with playing different sports.
Guys like Marcos Garza that put their time into being able to help these kids live out a dream. It's made me who I am today.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Green flag.
Back live from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Pace cars down, green flag waves. Will Hewitt in the throttle. We're back underway. The Atlanta Altercation 125 presented by Track Bar Media. Big run for the 83 on the high side around David Bradford. David gets a good restart as well, though. Tires do make a difference even on this old surface. We'll see how it pans out as they get back down the back straightaway. Will Will Hewitt maintain the top spot? We'll see.
David is all over him trying to get that lead back.
Again, 20 laps to go. Will Hewitt maintains the lead, but David Bradford all over the back bumper like a cheap suit of Will Hewitt. The 83 of Brandon Mefford up top. Thomas McMullen, Mike Fahey, the balance of the top 5. Tom Ridgway, Austin Purnell, Vincent Short, and we got David Bradford loose into turn number 3. He drops to the bottom. Don't know if there was some contact made. I was looking at the timing tower at the time. Eric, did you catch it?
They were contact made, I think, with maybe him and Medford. I'm not sure on that, but somebody had contact.
Nevertheless, Will Hewitt loses the top spot. Mefford goes P1. Fahey into the second spot for a moment. Will Hewitt battling back down low. But again, talking about that last caution with Mark Truxell and Brian Rose, kind of a racing deal. Both drivers kind of coming together, working on the same piece of real estate at the same time. We're actually going to pull Brian Rose into the broadcast booth, get a word with him, maybe even have him for the duration. Brian, it's Steve and Eric in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, I'm here, Steve.
Definitely dejected Brian Rose. Burned the fast repair early and then contact with yourself and Mark Truxell. Walk us through it from your perspective.
Hey, you know, we wouldn't have been in that spot if we wouldn't have got caught up in people just going way too hard early in the race and being up front battling like that. I mean, there's no reason to go that hard starting off the race, and we got caught up in something. I mean, it was just wrong place, wrong time. Tried to stay in the back, and kind of bide my time, knowing that I had to burn a fast repair, and nothing Mark done. I'm pretty sure I held my line. Nothing Mark done wrong. We just got together. He was staying a little bit too high, and I couldn't stay out of the throttle. It's just unfortunate. We put in a lot of work. Was really looking forward to tonight, and to have it end like this, it's just, it's a real, I'm pissed off. It's a real shitty way to end the night. But congratulations to Neil, on the regular season championship. He'll definitely get it now. We'll just move on and get this Track Bar Media machine ready to go for the playoffs.
Eric and I did kind of analyze the daylights out of that incident, and it really just seemed like Mark was getting ready to tuck in behind. He started to turn in, and you started to go up. You guys kind of met in the middle, so it seemed, at least from our perspective, a bit of a racing deal, but nonetheless, I don't know if it takes the sting away. Brian Rose out of this one here, coming to 15 to go. Mefford with the lead for a moment. Fahey takes the top spot at the stripe. A lot of shucking and jiving there back the 5th, 6th, and 7th positions. Cook quick up to P5. Thomas McMullen, Keaton Burnett, Vincent Rose. Vincent Rose, what am I talking about? Vincent Short. I'm seeing Track Bar Media on the side of that thing, and I'm going to different places. But Vincent Short in the red and blue Track Bar Media entry. He currently runs in the 7th position. Coming to 14 laps to go. Brandon Mefford still out front. Fahey looking strong. He is without fast repair, so hopefully he can keep that thing clean to the end as well. Neil Quick, he has slipped back to the 9th position at this point in the race. Probably just trying to finish things clean. Brian, you're still with us here. Are you completely out of this race? Is there any option to get back and turn laps in case maybe something happens to the two? Appears we've lost contact with Brian Rose. That's kind of the question I really had, is there any shot of Brian getting that truck back out there, even if it is off the pace, even if he just can stay out of the way? Again, we do have 13 to go. Things are awfully racy directly in front of Neil Quick. Something happens and he gets taken out. Maybe Brian can make up the spot. It's going to be hard to see. Hard to tell.
I think we're going to have a caution with this 3 and 33. They've been getting way too close.
Will Hewitt still there in that top 4 position. Known to be aggressive, known to be a challenger, known to be a front runner. He's in that top 5 still. Mefford and Fahey, also both talented drivers at the front of the field. Thomas Ridgway. There's nobody up front here that we're surprised to see. That's just really what it boils down to. Eleven and a half laps to go. Fahey in the middle now, into turns 3 and 4. Ridgway going to the outside, 3 wide for the lead. At Atlanta Motor Speedway, contact made. Ridgway in the wall. Then Cook quick. Keaton Burnett's in it as well. Vincent Short gets through. Caution on the Speedway. 11 laps to go at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Here we go, Eric. Here we go.
Sometimes it's best just not to say nothing. That's how I feel right now. I don't want no drivers mad at me, but there's some stupid moves going on.
Well, I'll say this much. We are broadcasters. We have to be impartial. We got to cheer for stories and not drivers. I know we kind of both belong to the HBR fold, being HBR TV, but again, it's about the show. Will Hewitt there in the 2nd spot. Mefford 1st. Fahey 3rd. McMullen 4th. Vince Short 5th. Let's try and get a look, see exactly what happened on this caution. Fahey jumps to the middle. Ridgway goes to the outside. I don't know if I agree with Fahey trying to take that bottom line. He definitely opened the door for the 3. The camera's focused on the 23 of Cook quick, but it looks like the contact's going to get made here with Ridgway and Fahey mid-corner. Ridgway is going to slide up the racetrack. Cook quick goes to the bottom, trying to avoid, overdoes it, gets into Thomas McMullen, which sends him into Ridgway. Keaton Burnett gets into it as well. Does Drew Blaze get through without damage? He might have. Neil Quick almost gets a big piece of that as well. But Neil does scoot through.
On a track this narrow, I don't know why you're going 3 wide with still 11 to go.
The way I look at it is this. We're all racers out here. It is still 11 to go, and they're going to click off in a hurry. They're running 30-second laps. 5 minutes, this thing's over if we stay green. It's very hard to tell your brain, oh, no. I know you got a really good run, but don't take it. It takes discipline not to. We've seen guys like Neil Quick. He's very good at not taking that run. But there's a lot of guys out there that don't. And I can't say that I blame any of them.
Yeah, but 99% of the time, this is what happens.
It's true. It does. But the other 1%, you win races. So it's like, okay, well, 9 out of 10 times I'm going to wreck, but the 10th time I'm going to take a checkered flag. So, I don't know. Is it worth it? You know, Tony Stewart talking about wrecking his own mama to win a race or a championship. Well, it's kind of the same idea. Take the chance. Maybe you get away with it. Maybe you don't. If you don't, okay, it takes out half the field. It is what it is.
You know, somebody we ain't talked about all day until just now was Drew Blaze, and here he is sitting in 6th position.
You know, he's, we used to talk about Mark Truxell being the silent assassin out there. Usually Drew Blaze is one we see at the front of the field. Again, Super Speedway racing changes a lot of that because it brings a lot of drivers. Not that they don't have talent, but it really evens the playing field across the board. Just about anybody can kind of work their way to the front, maybe get lucky, miss the wrecks, and be in the position to take a checkered flag. But Drew Blaze, again, usually a fast driver out there, always a contender for a win, finds himself in the 6th position, started 19th today. Little bit of rear damage on that truck, but at this point in the game, he's not going to take the opportunity to pit and fix it. He may take an opportunity to pass some trucks and maybe pick up a checkered flag. We're going to see.
Yeah, I mean, most of the time, you're still good with that back end damage, especially if you're drafting. I'd be anxious to see if he could pull it off.
Well, coming to 8 to go, we're going to find out. Drew Blaze in a good spot.
Green flag.
Mefford with a good restart. Mike Fahey the same. He's on the bottom, the number 19 truck to the inside of Will Hewitt. As he worked through turns 1 and 2. Vince Short still right there in the thick of things. Thomas McMullen as well. Neil Quick there in the, well, it was the 5th spot. Now it's the 7th spot. These guys are tucked up so close together.
The one to watch for, too, is right back in it after that last caution, the 46th of David Bradford.
David Bradford running in the 9th spot. It seems like forever as far as the running order is concerned, but he can work his way back through this mess. Will he? I don't know. I know he's out here hunting a trophy, but at the same token, he's a racer's racer. He's not going to go through and just start wrecking guys to get to the front, especially being that this is the last race of the regular season. I don't see him causing any major issues. If he can get there clean and get there safe and do it the right way, I'm sure he'll do it. But he's not going to rough anybody up to do it at this point in the race. Jordan Pete jumping in the stream chat, cheering on Chris Goins. Watch out for the 6. He's up to P11. 5.5 to go.
These boys are moving a little bit. Makes me nervous.
I don't think we're done wrecking. I think we got one more yellow into us here with 5 to go. Will Hewitt nose is out in front. He's doing this all on a no tire or maybe a 2-tire strategy at a 10.5 second stop, and he continues to run that outside lane as the lead in that line. Second place running truck as they work into turn 3. Brandon Mefford to the bottom with the lead, only by just inches. Four laps to go from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Oh, I thought Mefford gave the bottom to Fahey for just a moment. He shuts the door. Thomas McMullen looking awfully aggressive behind Will Hewitt.
Now it's time to go 3 wide if you can't find another place to go.
Now it's okay. Eric says we can go 3 wide now. Let's get after it.
Yeah, now it's go time. We'll see if anybody's listening and takes my advice.
I tell you, Will Hewitt with that 2-tire strategy at minimum here, it seems like it's paying off right now. 2.5 laps to go. He's still in command of that outside lane. All he needs is a good run off of 4 on that final lap, and he can take this checkered flag.
If he keeps going up like that, I think Fahey's going to put a nose under him.
Oh,
Vincent
contact.
Short.
Neil Quick in the wall with Vincent Short. Big trouble here, coming to 2 to go.
Release mark correct coming into pit road.
We knew it wasn't over.
I told you. Told you we weren't done. Chris Mefford, Keaton Burnett, Vincent Short, Carson Conway. Let's see, Neil Quick was in there somewhere as well. Unfortunately for Brian Rose, even if he couldn't get back out there with just a couple of laps left, not going to make up the time to get back to the 2, I don't think. Let's rewind this again. I hate having to do this, but... So Vincent Short, the 15 truck, the Track Bar Media Chevrolet on the bottom. Keaton Burnett's going to try and stuff it in the middle here. And I don't know if... See, I know exactly what happened here. Let's back this up a little bit further again. So, for those of you who are new to iRacing, there's a digital spotter, okay? It talks to the driver, says who's up high. Not so much who, but outside, 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 okay? So right now, Vince is hearing the outside truck because Neil Quick is right there. The next thing he might hear, depending on what spotter he's using, is 3 wide, you're on the bottom. Or he might not hear anything. He might just hear more outside. He's expecting, because he can kind of see Neil Quick there at the top side. He doesn't see Keaton Burnett go into the middle here. Kind of needs to expect that. But you're going to see what's going to happen because of it. Keaton Burnett definitely to the inside of Vince Short. He comes up, maybe a little net code, but nonetheless, I think they would have come together. Neil Quick and Short coming together across the nose of Keaton Burnett. Big trouble here late in the going. Coming to 2 to go. Carson Conway in it. Eddie Rose in it. Chris Mefford. Is Chris going sneak through? He does not. He gets back into the rear end there of Carson Conway. Neil Quick gets more contact with Vince Short. Don't think it's going to hurt Neil too much as far as the championship goes, but we're going to find out as we get ready for a green-white checker.
We only going to have one attempt.
I think we have up to 3. I will verify here in just a moment. Green, white checkers. No, it is only 1 attempt here in the SCAR Premier Series. So this will end it. 1 chance here. Green, white checkered finish. Will Hewitt, your current leader, SCAR veteran. He's only made a handful of races this season, again, by choice. But he has an opportunity here to lock himself into the championship if he can get this win. Taking a look at the standings again. Locked in green. Above the cut coming in was the yellow. And needing a win was Tom Ridgway or Will Hewitt. Right now, Will Hewitt in a good position to do just that. But he's going to have to be perfect here for the next couple of laps under green if he wants to take home checkered flag here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Pace car lights are off. We're getting ready to find out here. Just about 90 seconds. They'll be back around taking the green flag for our one and only green-white checkered finish tonight.
33 is going to make that truck 3 car lengths wide right here. I didn't know he had to win to get in, so he's not going to give anybody anything.
He's not trophy hunting. He's here at this point. Again, he has not made the full season, but he has made enough races to qualify if he can win the race, if he can lock himself in. You're absolutely right, Eric. That truck is going to be as wide as an 18-wheeler parked perpendicular on the racetrack. We've seen Will Hewitt do this. He's no stranger to victory lane here in SCAR. He can get this done without a doubt. I think his only thing holding him back here is the fact he doesn't have the tire underneath him, at least on the left sides. I don't know if it's going to hurt him. It seems to have been held up most of this run. Maybe he's got enough for 2 to go. We're about to find out. Will be Brandon Mefford to the outside, Will Hewitt to the bottom, Mike Fahey or Thomas McMullen, or will be somebody in the back. There you see David Bradford and Drew Blaze, 2 very experienced racers there in 5th and 6th. Then Chris Gones, Austin Purnell, 7th, 8th. I still think any of these guys have a shot. Even Vincent Short there, 9th. Neil Quick, 10th. Cody Harger, last truck on the lead lap. Who knows?
I'm surprised Will took the inside, but he did. Maybe he's going to try to get the start, and he spins the tires, it looks like.
You know, I think he was trying to work the numbers because the outside lane just didn't have a lot of trucks. But yes, the restart went to Mefford. I did not see if he beat the 33 to the line, though. We'll have to see. Less than 2 laps to go, though. Will with a good run off turn 2. He drops to the bottom. He must have jumped to restart. Mefford drops way back, yields the lead back to Will Hewitt. Thomas McMullen to the tailgate. Fahey up top with LSR teammate Drew Blaze on the prowl. He's got David Bradford tucked in behind Drew Blaze. Purnell on the bottom. Better numbers up top, only by 1 truck. Cross the stripe. White flag is out. Will Hewitt with the lead into turn number 1. Thomas McMullen all over that truck into turns 1 and 2. Can Will Hewitt hold off Fahey to the outside? Can he even keep that truck without wrecking? Cross fingers. Oh, Thomas McMullen in trouble in the backstretch. It doesn't matter. They're going to race it back to the finish line. There's no real safety concerns here. A little wiggle for Mike Fahey in turn number 3. Purnell and Drew Blaze in that second row. Bradford up top. He's going to hang with whoever. It's going to be a photo finish at the line. Oh, we got a wreck. Will Hewitt's going to win this race, and he's going to wreck as well as they cross the stripe. Austin Purnell turns them. What a crazy finish here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Oh,
Whoa.
My goodness, in the words of Fox Sports, have you ever?
Wow.
Unbelievable finish from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Will Hewitt with the checkered flag. Don't know if he's going to even make it back around.
That was some of the number 3 refused to lose right there.
Yeah, that was just impressive. I have to say at least that much. Unreal.
I think he made contact with maybe 3 or 4 trucks, or 3 or 4 times on that last lap, and still came out the winner. Ooh, Vincent Short into Chris Gomes after the race.
That was, I think that was more of a planned, hey, we didn't wreck each other, because they had gotten into each other a ton the last few races, and they talked about it pre-race. Got to stay away from each other, and they managed to get the whole race done, I think, without having any issues with each other. Will Hewitt celebrates at the start-finish line here at Atlanta. Locks himself into the playoffs. Hope to see him show up for all of these playoff races. He's certainly got a chance. Can barely do the donuts, but he's trying with engine damage on that number 33.
Put it in the grass, Will.
My, oh my, oh my. And he blows it up. All right, everybody. Stay with us. We're going to step aside for some break. We'll be back after this. Stay with us.
The great thing about youth sports, they give young people an opportunity to participate in something that is going to broaden them as people.
I think it's very amazing that Garza Law Firm has made a commitment to help the youth kids with playing different sports.
Guys like Marcos Garza that put their time into being able to help these kids live out a dream. It's made me who I am today.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Atlanta Super Speedway. Absolutely. I think it needs to be changed completely. No more Motor Speedway. It is Super Speedway. It definitely delivered. Great finish. Crazy action from green to checkered. And part-timer Will Hewitt, the SCAR veteran, still got some life in him, takes the checkered flag. We're going to pull the 33 up into the broadcast booth and find out the details here on the 33, if he's going to make it into this playoff. Will Hewitt, it's Steve and Eric in the broadcast booth. You got a good copy?
I got a copy.
So you're known for excellent interviews. I know it. We've interviewed you before with top 3 finishes in SCAR in the past. You're a veteran here, but you've run a part-time schedule. You somehow managed to pull this thing off, and it wasn't without challenges. How did you do it? Congratulations. You're in the playoffs too, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, I came in here wanted to win this thing just to get in, and I couldn't be more ecstatic, honestly. I did some pit strategy there in that last pit stop. I took 2 and like a half tank of fuel, and that got us in the lead. And track position matters a ton. Being that control car is really important.
Track position, very key here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. We thought you were dead meat with the 2-tire stop. I have to admit, we saw Vince Short stay out on a run. I know that's obviously 2 tires versus no tires, and it destroyed him. But I thought for sure these guys were going to chew you up. You did a great job battling back up topside. Late, that final restart, the green-white checker, I think the 83 of Mefford, down the back straightaway, he pulled to the bottom and let you go. I assume maybe a restart violation?
Yeah, I heard him jump before me. I was going to be shocked if he didn't get penalized there.
Well, luckily, iRacing caught it for you. He did a great job battling back to the finish line, and then hard impact to the wall post-race. Still managed to get by, do some donuts after the fact, and I think she gave up the ghost in the infield. Is there anything left of that truck?
Nah, she's done, man. Junk.
Well, what are your thoughts going into the playoffs? I know you had to win to get in. You did just that. You made it exciting. You got a shot for this championship?
I'd like to think so. I mean, if you asked me 2 weeks ago if I'd be competing in the SCAR playoffs this season, I would have called you crazy, but here we are, so I'm just going to run it as hard as I can.
Well, nice job, man. Pleasure to have you back, and then congratulations. We're going to let you go. Before we do, though, anybody you need to thank?
I want to thank Snyder's Convenient Corner and the SCAR Premier Series for still being around.
All right, well, thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck going into the playoffs.
Thanks.
Next, we're going to go to second place finisher Austin Purnell, the number 32 machine. We've been doing a lot of chatting with the great Purney as of late. Austin Purnell, it's Steve and Eric in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Austin, another top 3 finish. P2, very close to that checkered flag. I think you could probably smell it as you got to the stripe. Just not enough. Maybe another lap you might have had this thing. Tell us about your race.
Yeah, it was just kind of trying to play the long game there, just kind of riding around anywhere between 8 to 12. And right there on the last restart, I thought I was going to finish maybe at best 5th, and C's kind of just parted and was able to get 2nd. I thought I was going to win there for a second. They got the beating the banging right there at the end, but I'll take P2 at Atlanta. I don't really, this is probably like my 5th Super Speedway race. Well, I call it Super Speedway now on the service, so I was happy with 2nd.
The action we had here tonight at Atlanta, we're definitely calling it a super speedway. A little bit of a joker, a little bit of a curveball, though, through that double dog leg at the front straightaway. Changes things up. Some guys may have been lifting. I know on the older tires it was a little hairy. How was it for you behind the wheel, that number 32?
Really, it's just wide open. I mean, the only reason you would be lifting is just not to run over the truck in front of you. But yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Just hold a pretty wheel and go for it.
We did a good job at that, Austin. Congratulations on P2. You passed 12 trucks to get there. We're going to let you go. Before we do, anybody you need to thank?
Yes, I'd like to thank High's Hood Cleaning, Smoke Days Barbecue, Ronnie Hamlet Construction, and of course y'all for doing such a good job on the broadcast, and Scar for letting me race in the league.
All right, Austin. Well, again, nice job. Thanks for chatting with us, man. Good luck next week.
Thank you, sir.
That was Austin Purnell, your runner-up finisher here at Atlanta. Last but not least, not last, P3, Drew Blaze. Drew, it's Steve and Eric in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
I know you weren't looking forward to this place just because it's the super speedway version of things and you wanted to burn up tires and be the guy to save it and ultimately take a checkered flag home. You started 19th and here you are sitting back in that top 3. Tell us about your night, how you got up to where you were and avoided the chaos to finish top 3.
Oh man. Most of the race I was just dodging everything and just kind of laying back and hanging back there with Keaton and my other teammates. Just trying to stay clean and not use the quick repair. And I didn't feel like after the stage break there that we were gonna have a chance just because of the inability to pass. But we got that caution, got some spots on that, and just kind of ended how it did. I hate that for Mike, but it's super speedway racing, I guess.
Certainly thought he had a win in hand. He even said it himself. He could see that start-finish line, but no, just not quite enough. Still finished P7, a top 10 out of Fahey. At least didn't get wrecked out before this thing even got started. A good run for you, good run for LSR. Congratulations. Next race, the 27th. We go into Richmond Raceway for the Richmond Ruckus 125. I think that's more your speed. What are your thoughts going out there?
I'm a big fan of Richmond. Just like the way it drives. Surprisingly for one of the shorter tracks, but I do tend to do pretty well there. So we'll see how it goes. I'm just excited to get the playoffs going here and see what we can do.
All right, Drew. Again, congratulations on P3. Good luck in the playoffs. Before we let you go, anybody else you want to thank?
Just got to thank Lone Star Racing, In the Draft podcast, the Dent Zones, Fahey Race Reps, Justin Johnson, Mike Fahey, Brian Romer, all the guys over at Lone Star Racing. And thank you for putting on the broadcast. I appreciate it.
All right, Drew. Well, thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck at the next one. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.
Got a little repetitive there. Said that a couple of times, but nonetheless, that was Drew Blaze, your third place finisher here from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Let's try and get a look here again at that finish that we just witnessed here at Atlanta. Coming to the checkers, this is off turn number 4. You see Will Hewitt to the bottom. Mike Fahey to his outside, maybe a foot back. With help coming, Drew Blaze giving him the push. Bottom lane, Will Hewitt, Austin Purnell. There was no help there. Purnell jumped to the bottom. Don't know if Blaze got into the back of the 19 initially to cause that contact with Will Hewitt, but oh man, a big impact from Mike Fahey. Into the wall goes Drew Blaze. And that's the finish.
Yeah, if that don't happen, Fahey probably wins the race.
Unbelievable finish here from Atlanta Motor Speedway. That was just insane. What a way to finish out the regular season in the Superior Class Auto Racing Premier Series. Again, the 27th, I believe it is. We're back here. Richmond Raceway for the Richmond Ruckus 125, race number 1 of the playoffs. We do have Neil Quick in the green room. He is our regular season champion. We're going to pull him up into the broadcast booth. Neil, it's Steve and Eric in the booth. You got a good copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Well, first off and foremost, congratulations on the regular season championship. Tell us about your season and your thoughts working into the playoffs.
Man, I'm gonna tell you the competition and just the league over here at SCAR is top notch, and it's been work to get there to be able to get a regular season championship. So tonight was just a lot of being conservative, staying out of trouble as long as you can, and try to be there at the end. I'd like to say a big thanks to you guys, and then of course Brian Rose in the championship. I mean, he drove his ass off to be there, and really didn't know if I had won the championship there at the end because I know it was so close. So hopefully going to the playoffs, we'll all give it hell, and he'll be back in there, and looking forward to the playoffs.
And just taking a look at it, I'm just getting some more information here. Neil, of course, you do win the regular season championship. Top 15 in points made it, plus Will. So we'll have 16 competitors working their way in through the playoffs, going into Richmond. Wow. I don't know if you caught any of this. I know you were out there racing, but this was one to watch. Make sure you go back and rewatch this one, Neil. Crazy finish, crazy race across the board. I know not a great finish for you, not what you expected. You did make your way up into that top 3 for a time, but 11th place certainly enough to lock up a championship, and it's kind of a clean slate going into the playoffs.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing tonight, is just try to basically, it felt like I was racing one guy and for the regular season championship. So, and he had some bad luck at the beginning, and I hate that for him. I would have rather raced it head to head, and I think that's where we'll pick up at playoffs. I look forward to the competition of him and Will and Zach and all the guys, Cody. It's going to be a great 16 guys going at it there.
All right, Neil. Again, congratulations on that regular season championship. Good luck going into Richmond. Thanks for talking to us.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for the broadcast and all the work you do.
Neil Quick, 11th place finisher, but your regular season champion. Also, we have Mike Fahey released from the infield care center after that massive hit in the double dog leg. We'll pull the driver, the number 19, up into the broadcast booth. Still a top 10 finish, 7th place finish. Mike Fahey, you got a copy?
I got a copy. Man, how are you?
I'm better than you. I'm telling you right now. I watched a great race, and then you got murdered coming to the line. A hard hit. At minimum, second place finish was coming for you. If not, maybe a checkered flag. I know Drew was probably trying to push real hard to get you out front. Crossed you up. You made contact with the 33, and then it was over from there. How did it feel? How did it look from the inside of that number 19?
I was so close. I thought I was going to be able to talk to you on the podium. I was that close. I could see it, and I guess you learn not to trust teammates. But no, Drew was pushing. He was trying to get me up there, and it's just unfortunate. But it was a fun race. It was a strong truck we had tonight, and it just didn't play out the end.
Definitely super Speedway-esque. Atlanta Motor Speedway has become since the update. The only thing I really noticed was that double dog leg. That's kind of the only curveball that gets thrown into the mix. You got to manage that carefully. Of course, you saw that come into the checkers. That is where all the chaos is going to unfold, especially when you're in close quarters. Was that your experience with older tires throughout the run? Did you almost have to lift at all, or were you flat out all the way around this place?
It was loose, but I was flat out, and I actually had more problems, in the corners when we would bring it 3 wide in the corners, and we would just get my truck real loose. I think there was twice that I ended up in the middle, and I kind of panicked a little bit, but we finished the race, so that's more than most weeks.
Took the words right out of my mouth. You didn't get wrecked in the first 10 laps, well, not permanently at least. And here you are, finishing this thing out, getting all the laps in, a top 10. You finished 7th, you started 8th, so everything's a plus. You could have been a winner, but not today.
Not today, but I think we're locked in. I think I got that 16th spot with points, so we'll see.
So with that said, playoff start, I think this is the 27th at Richmond Raceway. How do you feel about going into Richmond?
So I feel good in the trucks going to Richmond. I know we ran the Gen 6 cars in the LSR series, and it was real loose, but hopefully if the trucks aren't too loose, I think I'll be all right.
All right, Mike. Well, again, nice job making it in, and a top 10 finish, just shy of that checkered flag. We're going to let you go. Before we do, though, anybody you need to thank?
Yeah, I got to thank Lone Star Racing, you for putting on the broadcast every week. They're fun to watch throughout the week after the race is over, and Simbox Button Boxes on Facebook, and just all my friends and family that come out and watch the races.
All right, Mike. Well, thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck going forward.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
It was Mike Fahey, your 7th place finisher, was just that close to a victory here today. Unable to make it happen. Again, Drew Blaze trying to help him, giving him that push to try and work his way around the 33. Without the contact, as Eric had said, probably would have made it, but just not to be. A solid finish, though. That's something he's struggled with as of late, getting to the finish of these races. So it's progress moving forward, Eric. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he had a great run and great showing here, and unfortunately wasn't able to bring it through, but if he wouldn't have got in the side of Will, he would have probably been in victory lane.
I'm glad you didn't say that. We might have to call him out for mental health arrest. But with that, let's take a look at our race results. We talked to the top 3 and more. Will Hewitt, of course, your winner here tonight. Austin Purnell, Drew Blaze, the top 3. Chris Goins, a solid finish from LSR in the 6th. David Bradford, first race back in a while, at least with Scar. He finished 5th. Cody Harger, after early troubles, finished P6. Mike Fahey, after a massive hit in the double dog leg, finished P7. Vincent Short, after a few incidents tonight, still manages a top 10, P8. Thomas McMullen was 9th. Neil Quick, a 10th place finish, enough to lock up the championship. Interestingly enough, these are the results it is providing, but looking closer, things are not quite accurate. We'll have to double check this. If there's any changes later on, we will keep everybody apprised as to make sure that these race results are official. Again, 11th, Brandon Mefford, Keaton Burnett 12th, Eddie Rose 13th, Carson Conway was 14th, Thomas Ridgway brought home the number 3 in the 15th position. 16th position was Cook Quick. 17th went to Mark Truxell. Brian Rose, 28 laps down in 18th. And last, but nope, not last, 19th, Chris Mefford. Timothy Culp was 20th. Rob Hattenbach, 21st. Bill Petrov, listed 22nd, 87 laps down. Bill, I think, just practiced, did not make the start of the race. Bill is the owner, actually, of Black Acid Custom Racing Apparel, the series sponsor of the Superior Class Auto Racing Premier Series. So we appreciate him being here. Probably just here to watch, see how things go down. We appreciate him being here. We wish you could race with us, Bill. You're more than welcome, man. I know you probably don't want to wreck some of these playoff guys, but come out and race with us, man. It's fine. That's your race results here from Atlanta. Again, the next race coming up Tuesday the 27th, the Richmond Ruckus 125, race 1 of the Superior Class Auto Racing Premier Series playoffs. Make sure you guys join us for that. Who's your pick going into Richmond? I know it's a completely different racetrack, Eric, than we have here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Of course, it kind of opens things up here to guys that aren't always towards the front, but looking at the running order, it seemed to favor the Toyotas, as we had 4 in the top 5 and 5 in the top 6.
I would have to wait and see who's going to be in it before I make a pick. I mean, obviously, I think if we have the guys we have now, probably David, Neil, and the Medford brothers.
We're not throwing any money on it right now, Eric. I'm just saying, going into Richmond, who's your favorite for now? We got some time to think about it. I'm thinking that this is going to be a very Neil Quick type racetrack going into Richmond. I know I picked him tonight, but I don't know. I mean, maybe I just picked him because maybe I was going to get some of that Eric Dodson bad luck for him. Who knows? but realistically, going into Richmond, that's a track you're going to need to save your stuff, and he's good at that. And that is a track that is very easy to burn up your stuff early on. That's why I'm going to go with Neil Quick. Again, maybe things change going into practices and such, but for now, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I mean, you can't forget about Zach either. You know, he's ran good everywhere we went. Hopefully, he'll be able to make it next week. So, if you're taking Neil, I'd probably take David or Zach.
Yeah, solid picks for sure across the board. And Zach will be back next race in Richmond. And I did talk to him pre-race. He's bummed that he missed it tonight. Again, had to work, but he says he should be good to go throughout the rest of the playoffs and the season. So Zach going to certainly come here and contend for a championship. It's going to be a fun one to watch. Don't miss any of the action. If you haven't already done it, please like, follow, share, subscribe, turn on notifications, facebook.com/HBRTV1. Also, we multi-stream. We run it on YouTube as well. Same handle, HBRTV1. Facebook has tended to give us some issues as of late in changing some of the server URL information. It's been challenging, but it's been okay so far. But we've had pretty reliable consistency out of the YouTube side. So the nice thing about YouTube, you don't need an account to check it out. So check it out. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook. Whatever you got. If you got them both, follow them both. You can kind of go back and forth. We kind of use one as the backup stream as well. We've got multiple races coming up. We've got one more tomorrow, the Old Farts Sim Racing League. That is the Concrete Floors Next Gen Cup Series. Tune in for that. I believe we go live at 9 p.m. I got to double check. Thursday, it's the LSR Truck Series. I will not be covering that one as I have to travel for the day job. And then we will be back for the Numb Thumbs Racing League. I think that's their season finale this coming Saturday evening. And then right back at it Monday for the LSR Sports Car Series. And then we roll into, I think, a week off with SCAR. And then I think, again, the 27th, we jump back in to the playoffs. So please be here for it. If you didn't see it tonight, you missed a great race, but the benefits are, it'll be posted later. You can go back and watch it. So please do that. Stream chat-wise, appreciate all you guys jumping in. Let's go through it. Chris Goins, Keaton Burnett, let's see, Chris Fahey, Mike Fahey post-race, Nikki Short, as always, Jordan Pete, Mike Fraz Rose, Drew Prohl, Patrick Davis, George Wall, Judy Tate, Kevin Blue, Holler Boys Racing. We said that at the beginning, but nonetheless, guys, thank you all for joining in that stream chat. We love to see the interaction. It certainly helps the broadcast, gives us something to chat about if things are slow. Wasn't slow tonight, but we tried to get to everybody as we could. Appreciate you being here. Please tune in next week for it. We appreciate it. Every chance you get. Please don't be shy. Eric, final thoughts before we get out of here?
I hope the championship run is half as exciting as this race was.
This was insane. I need to go take a lisinopril right now. All right, guys. Well, again, for Eric Dotson, I'm Steve Singer with HBR TV, congratulating SCAR veteran Will Hewitt, driver of the number 33, taking the checkered flag tonight, the Atlanta Altercation 125, presented by Track Bar Media. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great night.
The great thing about youth sports, they give young people an opportunity to participate in something that is going to broaden them as people.
I think it's very amazing that Garza Law Firm has made a commitment to help the youth kids with playing different sports.
Guys like Marcos Garza that put their time into being able to help these kids live out a dream. It's made me who I am today.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.